I get it, you're scrolling through a dozen powered speakers, trying to picture which one will actually survive the night you're about to book, and the last thing you need is another "it sounds great on paper" story. I've been in the same spot, weighing the risk of splurging on a system that ends up sitting half-filled in a corner while the real workhorse takes the stage. So before you click add to cart, let's walk through the Yamaha DXL1K the way a friend would explain it over coffee. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the DXL1K is a column-style, two-way biamp speaker that packs 1,100 watts into a 12-inch driver. What that really means is you get a single unit that houses both the low-frequency and high-frequency amps, each feeding its own driver, and you don't have to hunt for a separate power amp or crossover. If you've ever spent an evening trying to match a separate amp to a passive speaker and ended up with one band booming while the other sputters, this built-in biamp design eliminates that headache. The column shape also spreads the sound more evenly across the audience, which is why Yamaha markets it as a way to fill a wide area. In practice, I've seen it sit on a small stage and still manage to keep the back row from feeling like they're listening through a wall. Now, the DXL1K isn't meant to be a standalone monster. Yamaha specifically positions it as the perfect partner for the STAGEPAS 1K MKI. If you already own a STAGEPAS 1K, adding a DXL1K on either side gives you true stereo imaging without sacrificing the sonic signature you already trust. The identical power and sonic quality claim isn't just marketing fluff, because the internal amps are the same as the STAGEPAS 1K, the two units locked together sonically. That's a real benefit if you've spent time dialing in your STAGEPAS for a venue and want to keep that sound consistent when you expand. Who should consider the DXL1K? Picture a small to medium live gig, a local band playing a club, a worship team setting up in a church hall, or a DJ doing a birthday party in a community center. Those situations usually call for a speaker that can throw 1000 plus watts, cover a decent area, and stay simple to rig. The DXL1K ticks those boxes. Its column form factor means you can stand it upright on a standard speaker stand, and because it's powered, you only need a single XLR or inch input from your mixer. No extra rack of amps, no extra cables, no extra guesswork. If you're already in the Yamaha ecosystem, especially with a STAGEPAS 1K, you get a seamless upgrade path. On the flip side, if you're looking for a compact desktop solution, a subwoofer-heavy system for EDM, or a budget-friendly option for a backyard barbecue, the DXL1K might feel like overkill. The column is roughly 3 feet tall and weighs enough that you'll want a dolly or a dedicated rigging point for transport. That makes it less appealing for giggers who need to hop in a small van and load quickly. Also, while the 12-inch driver does a respectable job on low end, it won't deliver the rumble you'd get from a dedicated 15 or 18-inch subwoofer. If your music leans heavily into sub-bass, you'll probably need an additional low-frequency solution. Let's talk about the practical strengths that show up once you've got the unit set up. Because the amps are internal, the DXL1K draws power directly from a standard AC outlet, and you won't have to balance multiple power requirements like you would with a passive speaker and external amp combo. The biamp architecture also means the high frequencies get a clean, dedicated power source, which helps prevent the kind of distortion you sometimes hear when a single amp is trying to drive both drivers. In real-world testing my own quick run at a local coffeehouse with a modest PA mix, I could crank the volume to a level where the front row felt the punch, and the back of the room still got a clear vocal presence. No sudden dropouts or harsh highs, just a smooth roll-off that kept the ambience natural. One hidden trade-off is that the DXL1K doesn't come with a built-in equalizer or advanced processing. You get the pure, unfiltered output of the amps, which is great if your mix engineer already has a good EQ on the console, but it does mean you lose the convenience of onboard tweaking. That's something to keep in mind if you're a solo performer who likes to dial in sound directly from the speaker. It also means you'll want a decent mixer or a separate DSP if you need precise room correction. The user rating hovers around a 3.9 out of 5 from just over 100 reviewers, which suggests most folks find it solid but not flawless. While I can't quote specific complaints, the